In 2019, we set out on a project. We captured the stories of 4 people who shared their experiences of homelessness, loss and trauma. There was Bushy, taken from his mother as a child and raised in boarding homes throughout his childhood. Angela, who struggled with depression all the while living homeless. Wolf, who worked through addiction to become a mentor among the West Care community. And Jill, a mother who lost her son tragically to suicide, leading her to create Mosh House, a retreat which assists people with grief and depression. Taking inspiration from these stories, renowned artist Scott Eames created 4 sculptures to capture the journeys of these 4 people. We filmed this process and heard each story before unveiling each sculpture. Timothy Bushy Knowles, a former client of the Hutt Street Centre, was taken from his mother at the age of 5 and raised in a number of boarding houses throughout his childhood and teen years.
I had a hard life. I don't know why they took me for. They think me mum, when my 2 brothers were adopted, I just went straight into a boys' home in La Perouse and grew up in the boys' home until I was age 5 to 13. Then I got moved to a second boys' home in Blue Mountains. Stayed there from 13 to 16.
Bushy didn't see his mother again until he was 16.
It's a long time between 5 and 16, can't see your mum then. Of course, they think, we got a single mother, 2 of her sons adopted out, she ain't got 1 left. And they said, we can't have that, so they just took me without no reason.
Do you think that's because she was Aboriginal?
Yeah.
Angela Rose was a resident at Catherine House, a service providing accommodation for women experiencing homelessness.
The homelessness itself occurred mainly to do with lack of work, and that had a lot to do with depression and being able to maintain a work life. When depression came, which was when I was about 26, whole world turned upside down. So panic attacks, depression, and I've covered myself, protected myself from intimacy at times. It's like we're doing this bronze statue, and it's like I've been bronzed and did from a young age to not get hurt. Only in recent years has that barrier cracked. It is like my surname Rose, it's like I've been a bud and now slowly I'm opening up, and it's been in and out of. If it was continue, I don't think I'd be here, if you know what I mean. Like, it's been in and out of it. And I still don't accept me when I'm that down. I struggle and fight with it because I want to do better.
Anthony Wolf Abdullah was another client of the West Care Centre. Wolf was supported by a number of mentors throughout his childhood growing up in the Riverland.
When I was living up in the Riverland, it was like, it was good. The camping and all that with our uncle, I tell you, it was one of the best feelings ever, just growing up with him.
With a long history of coming in and out of homelessness, Wolf regularly struggled with addiction.
The life living on the streets is not all what it's cracked up to be, It's pretty lonely. You just feel alone, You just feel like, wow, what am I going to do from here? You know what I mean? I was still doing drugs, and stuff like that. And then I had to try and move away from the drug scene. I've got about 9 kids at the moment. Yeah, trying to set an example, and stuff like that.
Jill Chapman is the founder of Mosh House, a cosy retreat that aims to minimise the risk of suicide, as well as providing support in times of grief.
Hi, I'm Jill. I'm Michael's mum, and Michael made a fateful decision nearly 18 years ago now. He decided that he needed to end it all, take his own life, and he suicided.
In the years after Michael's suicide, Jill founded Mosh House and began assisting people through the process she herself had suffered through.
We were in shock, we were grieving, we were angry, we were confused, some of us were in denial, and then gradually the reality of what had happened and the finality of what had happened started to set in. One of the things that surprised me the most was large periods of nothing, not even numbness, absolutely nothing. A big part of my healing over the years has been helping other people, to help them through their grieving, because it's something, unfortunately, that we all have to go through, and we all go through it in very different ways. I like to liken grief to spaghetti bolognese. We all have different ingredients, and we all do it differently, but at the end of the day, it's still spag bowl.
After listening to the stories of these 4 people, it was now time to unveil the sculptures Scott Eames had made for them.
So there was one thing that I was keeping from you. It's the main aspect of the whole thing that really ties it all in together. Your surname is Rose, and that's how I've actually envisaged you right from the start, right to the finish, like a rose blossoming. It's the whole healing aspect of art.
Cool.
So here we have the piece that I'm going to unveil to you today. It took me a while to think about your story, what you was telling me while we were working and everything. It's really different what I've done with this piece. You were talking about, drugs and addiction and all that kind of stuff. So the piece revolves around that. I'll show it to you now, and then I'll go into I'll further elaborate on what I was just saying. So I'll show you the work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jesus. And that's how I feel. Yep.
Shonda, man. Hey, do I know you?
I want to say it's been an absolute pleasure working from you. You've got fantastic character, and I'll show you the work. Here we go.
Boy, a real Australian.
You look good.
The process of making faces of clay showed us that sharing our stories matter. Through the powerful medium of sculpture, these 4 people found genuine validation and healing.
It is like my surname Rose. It's like I've been a bud, and now slowly I'm opening up, and I'm going to make it. It doesn't seem like it sometimes, but I'm going to. I'm going to go from this person who was shut down emotionally, hardened, frozen, to someone who is going to come to life. Do I still have fear? You betcha. But it's not going to stop me. And so in that strength, I stand and live.